on
This is
Facebook, Alex.
good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, June 8th meeting of Plano West Rotary Club. I am Alex Johnson, the president of the club. I'm going to turn the meeting over to our temporary alternative backup sergeant of arms, who will be starting officially in 3 weeks. Past President Steve Lawton. Take it away, Steve.
Thanks, Alex. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. I don't know about y'all, but it kind of looks like there's some kind of an orange colored globe up there behind the clouds that might show its face today. And hopefully y'all are as happy as I am to go without rain for maybe the rest of the day. So let's get some brags going today. I'm going to start with the famous Lisa Leach. Lisa, you're muted.
Yeah, I just unmuted.
Brag about something?
Yeah, I don't know if I've bragged. I've done this brag, so I apologize. I don't know if I've done it, but I want to brag on my son who got engaged in Colorado. Did I do that last week? I don't even remember. I did. I'm doing it again.
You can do that.
So we're excited. That's it.
Congratulations.
We're
Kent
excited.
Stone, can you give us a brag today?
I'm bragging about my dear little girl, Julie, for everything she does. Keep watching my health and knowing when we need to go get extra shots and boosters.
And you're hanging in there okay right now?
We're watching it, and there's some things we're worried about. Those extra tumors that are showing up, but right now they're not growing. We're gonna do some more pictures on them and another PET scan, MRI in August, make sure they're hanging steady without anything else new showing up with the use of the PET scan.
Well, as always, Kent, our thoughts and prayers are with you and a speedy recovery from this. Keep fighting it.
I have to say, I feel better today, less fatigued. So that's a great positive. Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
I very much appreciate everyone's thoughts. Thanks again.
You're welcome. James Thomas, I saw your smiling face a second ago pop up. You got anything you want to brag about today?
Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or whatever. Yes, I want to brag because I neglected to brag about this last time. I would like to say that the school year is finally over. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
And I revert back to one of, is it Elton John's song or one of them? I'm still standing. Okay, actually, I'm literally sitting on a ball right now, but I'm still standing, okay? So bragging about it's over and I'm still healthy. Thank you.
I think you're wearing a new shirt. Your tag's still hanging off your sleeve. Nice. All right, Mr. Beemendorfer. You, like me, have been bogged down in the muck lately. How's it going?
Well, I'll let you know tomorrow about this time because I'll be out there tromping around a 20-acre track that I was on last week, and it was wet on the west side, but no, hopefully it'll drain. But no, I'm excited this weekend. We get to go back to East Texas for a family reunion that we haven't, I guess, Janet's side of the family. Of course, her dad is
You lost your volume there, Fred.
volume.
That gets me.
No, it was Fred.
Oh,
Okay.
it was Fred because I can hear you, Steve.
All right. Well,
Anyway, just
who else would like to brag? Jeri, you want to brag today, or you want to save your time when you're talking?
I can brag about my other role. It was a wonderful week. Yes, we are all exhausted, James Thomas, but we spent 5 nights We've got a bonus night because of the weather Saturday, graduating Plano Senior High, Plano West, Plano East, and Academy High School kids. There is nothing more glorious to participate in than to get to congratulate kids on making that great demarcation in their life. It was a beautiful, beautiful weather for 4 of the times.
Roxana, thank you.
Steve, with that, we're going to have to move on.
Okay, I got it.
Thank you very much, everybody. Well, next, what we're going to do is we're going to have Roxana. She is going to lead us in prayer. Take it away, Roxana.
Dear God, thank you for this family of Rotarians to which we belong. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you will clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us a desire to find ways to excel in our work. In God we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. And now Lisa Leach, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Well, excellent. Everybody, we have a packed agenda. We don't have an induction today, but we do have I'm not going to say our main guest speaker, which is Jeri, but we have a special guest speaker that's going to talk about Leadership Plano. And we have a number of Leadership Plano graduates in our club, and hopefully we'll have more. So I'll introduce Jen Schertzer, and take it away, Jen.
Thanks, Alex. How much time do I have, just so I'm aware? Okay. So yeah, Alex asked me to come on here and say a few words about Leadership Plano just because the applications for class 38 are due June 15th, which I think is in about a week. I don't even know what today is. So I think all of you guys have gotten some basic information. If you have not, you can go to the Plano Chamber of Commerce website. I am an alum. I know a lot of you guys are as well. And it's basically a real quick overview. It's a 9 months in the life of how the city of Plano works. So you will learn a lot about city government. You'll have a day about healthcare, a day about nonprofit. You will get some leadership development classes thrown in there. And typically the class is around 36 people. This year, the selection committee may choose a few less because every meeting will be in person unless things change. So we're going to try to make sure it's very socially distanced. And of course, you're welcome to wear masks if that makes you comfortable and things like that. So maybe a little bit smaller class this year. The selections committee is really focused on making sure we have a really great diverse cross section of Plano represented. So that's all ages, races, gender. You know, you work in a big corporate environment, maybe you're retired, maybe your focus is being a community servant. And the application is on the Leadership Plano website. There's an application fee. If you don't pay, it's $35. If you don't pay it, they don't consider your application. You will have to have 2 recommendation forms. So don't wait till the last minute to put your application in. If you're going to do it, ask 2 people to do it now. And that deadline of 6 p.m. on June 15th is a hard deadline. You can't put it in a minute later. The age range is, you know, mid-20s or about the age of a college graduate. Obviously, you don't have to have college experience to apply, but about mid-20s to, you know, no maximum age. The cost for the program is $1,500. If you're a Chamber of Commerce member or belong to an organization or a business that is a member, your fee is $1,350. And there are scholarships and not a lot of, you know, I've been told, I've never been on the selections committee, but I've been told, you know, not a lot of people ask for it. and it is anonymous. There are a couple of different scholarships, and you need to put that on your application. If you go to the Leadership Plano page, there's at the top right, if you're using your computer, which I recommend looking at it on your computer, not a phone. If you look at the top right of the screen, there's FAQs, and it will have information about scholarships. And I definitely recommend people apply for them if they need it. And really, if you have any questions, let me know. You can ask now. I think I have maybe like 30 seconds left. And then my email is Jen, Jenn, @planomagazine.com. You're welcome to ask me anything over email as well.
Any
That's it.
questions?
Yeah.
Because I know there are, to the best of my count, online right now, there's 7 of us that have gone through it. Me, Jeri, Jen, Catherine, Shannon, John, Tara. Is there anybody else that went through it that I don't know of? I know we have a number of club members that aren't. In fact, the person I met James through, his cousin Dolly. Dolly and I went through, we were class 21. This is our class symbol, 2003. And I know Randall, he went in, he was 2 years before me. So I think he was class 19. I think LaShawn was class 18. So she's probably the veteran LPer in our club. So we have, I'm not sure if there's more. So we've got I guess at least 10, 11 of us. So hopefully we'll have more. It's a phenomenal. Real quick, let's see. Well, I'm going to put Shannon on the spot because I could probably say she knows LP more than any of us. Do you want to have any parting words on LP before we move on, Shannon?
I think that it is absolutely hands down, one of the best opportunities to get to know your city and to build your network within the city. It was just one of the best things I have ever done, to just learn about the internal workings of how our community operates and be able to meet the people behind those organizations, whether, as Jen said, whether it's in healthcare or education or our small business community or even in city government. It was just a fantastic opportunity, and I had the amazing privilege of stepping in as executive director the year that Carol stepped back, and I'm glad that she is back at the helm. So it's going to be an awesome class. So I highly encourage everyone to sign up for class 38.
Speak it out, Jen. You just typed something in. Jen, do you want to say what you just said, what you just typed?
Well, I don't want to take up too much time, but just I've heard from a lot of people they don't get into their 3rd or 4th try. It's just because so many people apply, and we're trying to make this very diverse mix. Sometimes we might have too many nonprofit leaders or too many big corporate employees. So if you don't get in on your first try, that doesn't mean anything. It means just continue every year that it makes sense for you. That's it.
That's a good point. I remember a comical thing is, for those that know Phil Dyer, he got rejected 3 times and never went in. And, you know, he was a termed out mayor, citizen of the year, you know, Rotary. He's, you know, so just because you don't get in, that's not a qualification. Now, he gave up after 3. And I know somebody else that was prominent that got rejected 3 times and didn't bother. So like Jen said, whether you get in or not, it's no qualification on you. It's just the whole balancing aspect. Well, Jen, thank you. I know you got a jet. So thanks for speaking a little bit about LP with our group. And now what I'm going to do is our foundation minute. And I'm going to see if I can make this work properly. We're going to watch a little video.
Rotary has never backed away from the hardest challenges because we're committed to a better, more equitable world. This year is no exception. Staying away from people and places we love in order to keep them safe. And despite the challenges, your generosity continued. Your donations provided more than $7 million to fund coronavirus relief projects in communities worldwide. And thanks to you, citizens of Kigali, Rwanda have their first public library. Women in rural Costa Rica are enriching their communities through social entrepreneurship. At-risk kids in Puerto Rico have an artistic outlet to heal their emotional traumas. Rotary and its partners have reduced 99.9% polio cases worldwide. Thanks to you, the Rotary Foundation raised $408 million last year. So together, we can keep doing good in the world. Donors who take action help create lasting change. Our work isn't possible without you.
Just a reminder of how amazing our foundation is. And as we've mentioned before, we use it locally for our scholarship programs for Camp Ryla. We are now, thank you, Catherine. She's leading an all-star team of homeless experts in Plano, from the city, school district, nonprofit heads. And we're looking at doing their ICU homeless identification project, and we're going to submit that as a global grant. So a lot of people, when you think of global grants in Rotary, we think of all the good we do globally, but you can also have global grants locally. And so we will be the first Rotary Club in North Texas to apply for a global grant to serve a cause locally. And as we know, homelessness is a cause that there's a lot of work to do. And so this is a great first. And I think Catherine, James is on that committee, Joy is on the committee. The city has put there are three homelessness experts, they're on the committee. Then we also have an agency that we're working with that focuses on homelessness that the city actually recommended to us. So definitely an all-star team, and Catherine's an all-star for leading them. And so everybody, that's what the foundation's all about. And so I thank you for everybody's participation in it. All right, well now I'm going to turn it over to our amazing third generation Rotarian, Roxana, for the membership moment. Take it away, Roxana.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Roxana and welcome to our membership moment. Can you see my screen? Yes, okay. Well, every month our members of our club will be our guests and they will present themselves. This week I have the honor to introduce a valuable member of our club and community. And his name is John Russell. John, this is your time. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I am just honored and humbled to be a member of this club and community. I was thinking the other day, this is my third service club, but the most powerful and far-reaching. The first was the Lions Club in Malden, Massachusetts. The second, as I think many of you know, was the Kiwanis Club in Beverly, Massachusetts. And it's really very humbling and uplifting to be serving without self. I learned a long time ago that I need to work on myself harder than I do my job and my business. And part of that means making sure that I am associating with the right people, and to be part of this group is just truly extraordinary. I led one project so far and learned a tremendous amount about how to be a good, really good project leader. I'm looking forward to leading several more projects this summer and just growing with the club. I've found my service home, and so I look forward to remaining a member of this club for the remainder of my life. And I plan on living well past the age of 100. So yeah, well, I'm 66 now, Roxana. There's no reason why I can't be leading a service project when I sail past Tom's age.
Thank you, John.
Well, John, 66 is actually young for our club. I think we have about 15% of our club is, no, more than that. I think we have about 20% of our club is older than you. So you've, but we still have a third of our club that's under 40. That's what's amazing about our club. We're so well balanced.
Well, it's
James is always-
extraordinary when I tell people we go from age 18 to, how old is Tom now? 83?
Well, I'm not going to give out exact ages, but we top in at 86.
It's extraordinary.
But yes, you know, we have a couple members in their 80s, and we have a number of members in their under 20s. So that's what makes it awesome. John, we're really delighted that you're part of our club. And what I love most is your willingness to step up. And like you said, you've already led a service project. You're looking to lead more. We have a super extraordinary service project chair that we're in training on. I'm not going to call her out yet, but I will soon. And she's going to help take our club to the next level. So you can split, she's in this call, so it's a she, so you could kind of cut half of it. So just look at who's kind of smiling. Who's a member? Jeri's not a member yet, so we'll get to her.
Not Jeri. So you're safe,
anyway,
Jeri. You're off the bubble.
Yeah, so far. She knows the majority of our club, so it's just the time is coming. Well, John, thank you. Thank you for joining and bringing your experience from Kiwanis and Lions, and now we're in Rotary. So excellent. And thank you, Roxana, for the member moment. I think it's important, no matter how big our club is, we've got to focus down to our priorities, which are our members. And so before we let Jeri take over, let me do a little club business to remind everybody what's happening. Let's see. So everybody's gotten emails. We have to update our Rotary waivers. They last for a year. So the current ones expire the end of the Rotary year, which is in June, which is like 3 weeks. So now please, 25% of our club has already updated their waivers. So thank you. Let's get the rest. We actually have over 450 people that have completed our waivers over the last year. So there's a lot going on, and our executive secretary, Liz, is very busy processing the PDFs. So please do that. Also, Rotary Apparel, you see the link up there. Roxana did a great job finding us a new vendor. Some people are ordering. Roxana, real quick, what is the process for it? Because I know people are ordering. When will they get them, and what happens?
So we close the signing up, the sign up genius on, I think it's on the 22nd. So we have two more weeks. And then right away on the next day, I order them, and they come really fast. And I think it will take about a week. So this is your chance, just 2 more weeks, and it's really good prices. Rotary is not making any money, just straight from the vendor, the prices. And I think these are really good prices. So it's the time to get the shirts. 2 more weeks, and then a total of 3 weeks to get the shirts.
Can you send me an email of what that deadline date is? So I will update my information, and we probably should have Glenn update our e-newsletter. I didn't realize there was a deadline. So yes, get it now, everybody. You've got 2 weeks, and we'll get them ordered. So thank you very much, Roxana. Also, I want to let everybody know, sign up for this virtual convention. Rotary unfortunately had to cancel the last 2 global conventions. This one was supposed to be in Taipei, and so obviously it's not, it's virtual, but I attended the virtual last year, and it was very informative, very educational. Sign up, we'll reimburse you when the convention is over, so save your receipt. I can't remember the cost, but it's really cheap. But you're going to have people from all over the world zoom in for it. And I know Roxana, her parents, they went to the international convention every year, don't they? Are they zooming? You know, because like I said, Roxana is a 3rd generation Rotarian. Her grandfather founded the Reynosa Mexico Rotary Club 81 years ago. And her mom and dad are very active in Rotary. That's how Roxanne and I got to know each other, because of that Rotary connection. So sign up for this convention, everybody. Also, on the 26th is the last district roundtable for this Rotary year. They're also combining it with a service project. There are so many hygiene kits that were donated, which our club donated a lot. Well, they're going to put more of it together for both families in need and those experiencing homelessness. So it's going to be at anybody in Plano. If you don't know where this place is, you need to. It's at Haggard Party Barn. You could Google it. It's a mainstay of Plano. So on Saturday morning, June 26th, that's where it's going to be, the district roundtable. You're going to have the district leadership or Rotary in the area and people volunteering, putting together the hygiene kits. And then also we are having our New Year kickoff potluck barbecue. We changed the name. Originally, it was supposed to be an installation thing. That was sounding too formal. This is not formal. We're going to probably spend 10 minutes saying, here's the new board. Thank you for everybody. Other than that, this is just a party for us to get together. So bring your friends, bring your family, definitely bring your spouse so we can meet them and show up. This is a fun thing. It's potluck. We're going to have leadership from the district is going to be there, but they know this is just fun. I've been stressing no pomp and ceremony here. We're just doing this to get together and have fun to kick off the new year. Now, let's talk about what we did last week. We had 2 service projects on the same day. Actually, technically, we had 7 service projects, because one where a group of us gathered at Greek Isles, and we packaged more hygiene kits and information that street side showers needed. And Michelle led that. And then also at, Bowman, Shepton, where's the other one? James or Catherine?
Clark High School.
Oh, Clark High School. Every Tuesday, Catherine is leading basically 6 projects every week for the summer, because we are delivering food at 3 campuses twice a day. So that's why she's wearing her volunteer shirt. She was there this morning and managing people at the other campuses that she wasn't at, and they're going to do it this afternoon. So we did the first one on Tuesday. So great job on that, everybody. Michelle, Catherine, and James. Now let's talk about, that was last week. Let's talk about what's coming up. Curbside meals. Catherine had 3 projects this morning and she's got 3 more. We need people to sign up. Actually, every other week we get contacted by the district, the food and nutrition department, wanting us to put more people there. They originally opened it up to a 3rd campus. Then they're saying, can you bring more people at Clark? We need more people, I think, at Bowman as well. So we need more volunteers. So this project only gets bigger because the school district is asking for our help, which I think it's a testament to the amazing things our club is doing, and especially you members, that the district is coming back to us to help us more. And I'm not saying that just because a trustee happens to be on the call, because she's not wearing her trustee hat right now. No. And so then also block walking. We have Antonio and Bruce for COVID. They've been rain delayed, I think 3 weeks. We've got a good weekend coming up. They have, I think, 1,800 more homes that the city identified. Is that right, Antonio?
1,800 left.
1,800.
Yeah.
So we have 3 neighborhoods we're doing. Basically, it's neighborhoods around Barron, neighborhoods around Williams, and I can't remember the other neighborhood that they identified were high priority neighborhoods for us to provide COVID block walking information. I have been told by the city we have increased Hispanic vaccinations up to 9% now because of this project. So we are making a direct impact. That's obviously reducing hospitalization, deaths, and giving people the ability to getting out there to work. Wrong date. That says the 12th. We're doing a Barron Elementary cleanup is on the 19th. So ignore that date. When you go to the sign up, it's accurate. We're going to start, we do cleanup on Avenue K We also do partner cleanups on the months that we don't have a cleanup. We're either going to do cleanups in the Douglas community or cleanups in Barron Elementary neighborhood. Those are the areas that we have that we do work in. So this will be our first city cleanup in the Barron Elementary neighborhood. Glenn Thornton is the chair of that. Sign up. We got a couple weeks. I think John's the first and only person signed up. We really need to get about 20, 25 people. Anybody who knows, Barron is a huge neighborhood. So we need actually probably more than 25, and it hasn't been cleaned up anytime soon, according to the city. So sign up for that. And then on the 23rd, Courtney is leading our POWs Plano Overnight Warming Station project. We're having another orientation. We're going to do that monthly leading up to the training in August. So if you want to, it's a Zoom. You're going to learn about what it's like to be a volunteer in the overnight warming station. As I said before, it's a lot easier than I thought it would be. It's not a 24/7 warming station. They actually pay people in higher security for the late night. And so we're really there just to take care of the guests and show them dignity and keep them warm during the cold night. So I encourage you to sign up, and it's an hour presentation, and we'll hear about what it's like to be a volunteer and what you need to do next. So with that, that's our club business. Now we're going to do what everybody's been waiting for. We were going to have Mr. James Thomas introduce our very special speaker. Take it away, James.
Thank you, Alex. I have the esteemed pleasure of introducing Miss Jeri Chambers. I'm not that familiar with her, but I've seen her before, and I know that she's a trustee. So, and I have this little script, okay? So I'd like to thank Zane and Antonio who provided the script. And all it says is Jeri Chambers serves as a donor relations officer in the Collin County Office of Community Foundations of Texas, which is an amazing organization, an amazing group. So Chambers, thank you guys very much for all the things that you do with that organization. She also serves as our community as the Plano Independent School District trustee and recently elected board secretary. Now, to be honest, let's go ahead and call it what it is. Jeri has worked with this city and done so many things that I could take the entire meeting just covering all the aspects and how Jeri has touched the lives of so many of us with the various boards and commissions, certainly with our church and obviously with the school board. So I can't thank you enough. But the most, I look at common denominators and everything that Jeri does, and it's all about improving our city. And Jeri is amazing. She is my hammer. She gets things done. Okay, as I said, I don't know her all that well, but I know her husband, Rick. I know her 2 kids. I know where she lives. And on a personal note, 3 years ago, for those of you who did not know, I had a stroke. And I have an awful lot of friends. Jeri Chambers is the one friend who came by my house to check on me to make sure I was doing okay. So I shall let my dear friend take this away. Chambers, what a wonderful opportunity to have you present to us. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you very much, James. It's very nice. Coach Thomas, that's my first title that I knew that man by a few years ago. Well, it's just wonderful to be with you guys. Y'all are such a great Rotary. You do so much great work. I appreciate everything you do for the district. Catherine, you're a hero in all that you're doing to support and feed kids. And I just appreciate that so much. So I'm honored to be with y'all for a minute today. And I'm excited to share with you my other job, what I get paid for to do, which is a blessing and a gift as well for me. But anyway, it's wonderful to see you guys. I am going to share my screen. I don't do this very, oh, I did it okay. Ooh, that went smoother than I was expecting. Yay. So I am with Community Foundation of Texas. This is a picture that we took at our grand opening. We have an office in Hall Park. If you look real carefully, you might see some people you know in that picture. But we are thrilled to bring Communities Foundation of Texas to Collin County. My colleague Sarah Humphrey and I are the two people who are working it in this area, bringing all of the goodness of CFT up here. We have been in this community since, let's see if I can progress the screens now. There we go. We've been in this community since 1953, and we work side by side along all sorts of different people, donors, to help them in philanthropy focused businesses. We are about health, wealth, living and learning, equity, belonging, and connectedness, and it's for all. So I'm excited that that is what I get to do in my day job. We do several things to help people in their understanding that every one of us is a philanthropist. And one of the programs that we do is a program called Give Wisely. And it is an opportunity to help people discover their passions and their values when it comes to giving. And I wanted to share this first with you all because I know you have lots of programming, but if you ever have a retreat or a time period of gathering of at least 45 minutes, we would love to come back and do this activity with you. Did it this morning with a Plano Chamber of Commerce, a young professionals group. It really helps people or groups know their why. We give to people, and so sometimes it's difficult if someone's involved, we want to give and support them, but sometimes it's really helpful to have a focus about how we give our time and how we give our money. And this activity is just a fabulous way of doing that, to give that focus and help you understand what your specific why is. It's a chance to identify your values, identify your passions. It's a fun activity. So I wanted to let you all know about it. That's another programming opportunity in the future. And that's what we're all about, is helping people figure out how they want to change the world in a way that fits their values, their interests, and be very intentional about their giving. One of the things that Jennifer talked about, Leadership Plano, we have a program for emerging leaders in philanthropy. And since you have members in this organization, 18 to 40, this would be that group for you to consider doing as well. It's not as expensive of a lift or as time consuming of a lift as Leadership Plano is. So I would say it was a great way. It basically takes in Plano, we have the nonprofit or the community engagement session. This basically takes that and brings it out to many parts. You will participate in Give Wisely. You get to know other professionals, young professionals who are interested in learning about how to make a difference in the world. And it's just a really great program. We eventually hope to have it be specific to Collin County, but that's a part of our growth. But right now it is a North Texas program. And there's information there for those who are interested. There's a link, and I can share all the links as we go. As we're talking, I meant to ask Shannon, I'm going to put you on the spot. If there's anyone in the chat that wants to say things, Shannon, please stop me and I will answer any questions as we go along. Now, the next thing. I told you all that I like graduation. This is my other favorite day of the whole way, and that is our North Texas Giving Day. This year, North Texas Giving Day will be September 23rd. This is a day for all of North Texas to come together and be the largest online giving that we believe in the nation. No one has told us it's not in the world. It could be in the world. And it's just a fantastic way to highlight nonprofits, to help people when they have figured out their passions and give to those things. There are over 27 causes that we have identified through North Texas Giving Day. I highly encourage you all to just go to northtexasgivingday.org and search that. We are now in the process of adding nonprofits to our year for this year, and that will close in August. So if you all as a Rotary want to have a way of fundraising to highlight the projects that you all have, if you have money for something specific, you can participate in North Texas Giving Day. Again, it is just a fantastic and wonderful day of the year. And again, the northtexasgivingday.org is a great way to learn. You can go to that website, sort nonprofits by the cause, by the city, by the county, And so if you ever wonder, I wonder who's doing homelessness in Collin County, you can go to that site and you can see research for it's over 3,000, it's almost 4,000 nonprofits in our area. In Collin County, we have had over 400 nonprofits participate. And you can see how much money we've raised and how much we have supported our community. This is what I really want y'all to be aware of, and also an opportunity to have a speaker for you guys. This year, we unveiled the Collin County Economic Opportunity Assessment. James and some other people I know in this group have been familiar with it. We now have, yay, the hard copies of it so people can take notes and make highlight things. This is online, but we also, and I can get Alex show some hard copies if you want some. This is just a really great shine the light on where we are economically as a county and where our needs are. I am not the professional on this, but my friend and colleague Wendy Burton is, and she gives a fabulous presentation, a program on what we learned from this report, and more importantly, what we need to be doing to go forward. So for you all as engaged as a Rotary as you all, this would be a great thing for you all to get your hands on and to look at and to see how your work is making a difference and how your work is fitting a real need that we have in Collin County. So Collin County, CFT has been here now since 2017. In that time period, since 2006, actually, we have contributed over $62 million to Collin County organizations. We are here to grow that, to do two things, basically, to help those who are donors in Collin County know how they can be strategic in their giving, and to support and walk side by side with the nonprofits are here to help them support their capacity and to grow them as well. In 2019, we led a leadership institute for about 12 nonprofits. We intend to do that again post-COVID. And that's a really great way so that we know that the nonprofits we have in our community are scaling, growing, and being worthy recipients of strong donations and support from our community. In coming to Collin County, we opened what was called the Fund for Collin County. That fund is now sitting at over $1 million. We are thrilled with the support that we have had from this fund. You can see the organizations that we have supported over the last 3 years. That is rolled into that part of that money that we have built and supported in Collin County. We have doing another opening opportunity for funding that will open about in August for nonprofits to apply to receive grant money for that fund. We are also continuing to grow the fund because the more the fund has, the more we're able to give back to other nonprofits. And so if you're ever sitting around and going, gosh, I have some extra funding, I'd like to be able to support Collin County. These organizations all went through a competitive process. So you can know that in any given year, CFT is identifying those nonprofits who are really meeting the need and really making a difference in our community. So COVID, with COVID, some of you may be familiar that we as an organization partnered with over 30 other funders to create what's called North Texas Cares. And this was a chance to have a one-stop shop for nonprofits who are desperately needing funds to be able to go there. So we had Texas Women's Foundation, Dallas Foundation, United Way, CFT were some of the big organizations. We had businesses that also participated. And through CFT alone, we were able to put back $650,000 in support for Collin County nonprofits. You can go and see a list of those nonprofits that received those gifts at that link and that website there. And the next thing, our main thing that we do is help with what we call a charitable giving fund. The business term is a donor advised fund. And they are a very special kind of magic. This is a chance for individuals, businesses, families, nonprofits who want to be strategic about raising money and then, of course, giving it back out into the community, a strategic way of doing that. And so that is what we are about, is creating those charitable funds. So if you and your family, so basically guys, the average American household donates about $3,000 a year. High wealth folks donate about 30,000, multiple thousands of dollars or more. That's kind of what they are. We have a funding tool that if you have $5,000 that you want to give to charitable organizations in a year, we have a tool that will allow you to invest in us in a charitable fund. And then you are able to recommend how that money is distributed. And you can bring your fund down to zero, or you can build over time if there's something that you really want to support. It's a way of doing some lifelong charitable giving that makes it easy, makes it very strategic. And if you are someone who would be aspiring to maybe have a family foundation or to be able to be that philanthropic giver, this is a means for you able to do it at a relatively low entry point. It's great. We have all different kinds of funds that you can see there. And I will say that in coming to CFT, coming to Collin County, we've really opened a lot of those nonprofit funds. Nonprofits who either who want to start an endowment, or they want to have a capital campaign, something along the lines that we can help and work side by side to help them grow and scale their organizations. So this is me and my colleague, Sarah Humphrey. We are here to serve and support all of you in whatever way we can. And I hope now that I have the opportunity to answer questions for you guys about anything else I said that might be of interest. So a couple chat. What's there? Shane, anything I need to repeat?
No, everybody was talking about how much they love North Texas Giving Day.
It's the best. It's just the best day ever. And if you follow me on Facebook, you will see that I try to get everywhere to all sorts of nonprofits and promote that. And so I encourage that.
Can you go back to the last slide and so we can get your contact information?
Oh, of course I can.
We went so fast. I was going to take a picture
I'm so
of it.
sorry. Let's see if I can be so adept to do that. Well, it's not letting me go backwards. Well, let's just see what we have here. It is not letting me go backwards. I'm going to fix that.
Or you can just type it into the text, or the chat maybe. Oh, there we go.
Just put it in the chat, Jeri.
There it is. Okay, and I can do that as well. Absolutely. I'll stop sharing and put it there.
Thank you.
Questions? Oh, good. Thank you, Shannon. You're the best. Questions? I want to save time for some.
I've got a question. I know the
Yes,
answer to that is
Alex.
for, does CFT work with Rotary clubs?
We do. We work with Rotary clubs all the time. We have several Rotary clubs that have funds with us. They allows the Rotary to maybe set aside funds that you want to go for a specific cause, or if you want to if you have money sitting aside, anyone does. If you have money sitting aside, especially nonprofits, $5,000 or more, and it's just sitting there in savings, it's great to have a charitable fund because it can sit there and earn as much as 7, 8, 9, 10% over time. And so it's actually making some money. And then you can have that money go whenever you need to go straight back to that nonprofit or to whatever 501c3 organization that you want to give to. So if you all have that as part of your strategy, we highly encourage you to participate. We have funds for churches. We have funds for all, you name it. If you are someone who wants to be strategic about your charitable giving, we are here to be a partner with you and be in community with you to have those funds go further and be strategic. We also help with end of life giving, trusts and plans and all. We're very there's a whole lot more to us, but I was just trying to give you all the 30,000 foot level. And certainly if there's anything that's caught your interest, we can come back. I do hope you'll consider us coming back and talking about the Collin County Economic Assessment Report. I think the information there would be very valuable to you all.
Cool. Definitely will, as Antonio is our program chair, please, if you could send him the particulars on that. And so
yeah, Antonio, you can just reach out. We've already been in touch. You can just get back to me and say yes, and I can set that up.
Yes, I got you.
Perfect.
Sandy, that report was so informative. It kind of left me with, I look at disparities, look at disproportionality, just kind of left my mouth open listening to it. So quite informative. So thank you.
Well, we're really here about connecting the dots. We're really about helping people who say, okay, we want to make a difference in homelessness. We can sit down with someone and share with them, these are the nonprofits that are working in that space, and put together a plan for that family or that entity or that business, and help them be very intentional about their giving. So I have often said that sometimes we as individuals or families, we tend to be whack-a-mole. We just give, money as we see to, because someone asks us in a nice way. And having a fund really helps you be very intentional and very focused, allows you to be able to say no to people and say, this year, our family is really focusing on, food insecurity. And so although we love veterans, and we love the organization, we as a family have decided to do this way. And it just really helps you not feel guilty about it, because you have a budget and you've been organized, and it's really helpful. And it's really makes giving easy. I love we have a fund as a family, and it's so nice to be able to see in one place where we've donated, and not have to go look for it, especially at tax time, to figure out what it is, what we're doing and how we're doing it. So.
Any additional questions? Sounds like you nailed it well.
Either that or overwhelmed. So anyway, look, I hammered it. Thanks, James. Thanks.
You hammered it.
I hammered it. Okay. Well,
Hey, Jeri, I'll ask you a question. How often is the assessment going to come out?
Oh, great question. We did a Dallas one about 2016, and I haven't heard about when we're doing the next one for there. COVID, of course, slows things down. But Collin County one, we did also, if you go to our website, did a response to COVID and how it was impacting, how we predict it's going to impact. But this report is actually pre-COVID. So it may seem, it's very enlightening. And to think that things might be a little bit more exaggerated as a result of COVID. The statistic that, and I hate to get into this because you're going to ask me questions and I won't know the answers. The research divided up, you often hear about dividing up the segments in quintiles. The top quintile did not grow very much over a course of time for Collin County, which is surprising because we think that we're really a growing community. The other three quintiles going in down in lower order all increased somewhat. The bottom fifth quintile went down 6%. So what that is saying is the poor in Collin County is actually getting poorer, and we got to figure out what we need to do to meet that need. The others are growing as we would expect, but we have this lower quintile. There's also some looking about healthcare for kids. There's some concerns about where we are with providing healthcare. We think kids ought to be automatically covered. About 10% of youth in Plano, 0 to 18, do not have health coverage. And that's concerning. So why is that? And what do we need to be doing to fill that gap? So there's a lot of information in that's just enlightening. And again, my chief expert, Wendy Burton, would be more than happy. And she's a delightful presenter and can answer all sorts of questions that would be dangerous for me to get into, because I make something that wasn't right. Would be like, because I've hung out with James so much, you never know what I might say.
Ooh. You notice he's staying on mute.
I know, I noticed that. Y'all need to know, full disclosure, I had the honor and privilege of teaching side by side with James Thomas at Wilson Middle School for 3 years. And let me tell you, there's gray hairs on his head because of me.
I just want to know.
Yes, John.
If Jeri hammered it as James said, does that mean she's wearing parachute pants right now?
Thanks, John. Love you.
If you're younger than 22, you have no idea what that was in reference to. You know that, don't you?
That's an 80s joke, I think, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, Well, anyway, I challenge you guys, I challenge you as individuals, please go check out the North Texas Giving Day site just because it's interesting and it shows all sorts of, 27 cause areas. That's pretty cool. Do check out the information about the Collin County Assessment Report online. If you're just dying to get your hands on a hard copy, let me know through Alex or whoever, and I'll figure out how to get you one. And if you want to talk about funds, whether through a nonprofit that you have, or if you want to talk about, one thing I didn't mention, we now have a new service for nonprofits. If they want to put up their board needs on our site, you can go and you can see over 30 nonprofits who have specific board of directors needs that they need served. And you can go there and find a match. Or if you have a nonprofit and have board needs and want to post, we're really just a big one-stop shop for people who are either nonprofit or want to give and want to be organized about it. We're your glue to connect all that together.
Thank you, Jeri.
Thank you, guys.
Well, because James kind of gave this little personal message about Jeri, I figure I'll give one too. I got a voicemail on April 22nd. All my voicemails are transcribed. People probably know that. And so I read them and I get this voicemail saying, "Hey, Alex, I think you better listen to this. You're going to kind of lose the whole point by just reading it." So I'm like, oh no, this must be serious. So I listen. I never listen to my voicemails. And I have a very special friend who's singing me happy birthday. And it was just very special to me. And I thought she was singing, I don't know if this was your purpose, but it was sounding like the Marilyn Monroe, happy birthday. That was Jeri. It's so awesome. So I figure I only shared that because James kind of told his that's how personable and caring that Jeri is. Although she didn't use the hammer for me, but that was, I told her, and it was true. Besides for my wife, that was probably the most special birthday of that day for me. It was very memorable. So how often do you get Marilyn Monroe singing happy birthday to you? So listen to your voicemails when it's important. So with that, Jeri, something that we do, which you've received already, in appreciation for your time and program, Plano West Rotary will donate another $10 to your name, in your name for the Rotary's Polio Plus Fund, together with the 2-to-1 matching funds from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. That $10 will turn into $30, which will provide polio vaccine for about 50 children. And Rotary's also using its infrastructure because polio is a cold chain vaccine, just like the COVID vaccines are. So our infrastructure is aiding vaccination all around the world in the third world countries and underdeveloped countries. So your donation is not only eradicating polio, it's also getting us through COVID-19. And so thank you, Jeri.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And I'm going to leave y'all my cell phone number and email again in case anyone wants to reach out.
Excellent. Thank you again. Jeri's a friend of our club. She volunteers, her family volunteers. She is one of my go-to people when I have PISD issues, which I rarely have, but when I do, Jeri, help. And so, and you guys know she's been in a lot of our meetings as well. So thank you very much. All right, well, next week, which a number of people will know, we have Kelly Noonan, who is going to be speaking on behalf of Junior League of Collin County. So we've got a few leaguers. I think we have, what, 3 right now with Shannon, Jeri, and Tara. Is there anybody else that I don't know of? My wife and Erica Gebhardt are also leaguers as well. So those who don't know what Junior League is, we will just let Kelly tell you all about it. It's a very amazing organization, and maybe she'll do a little pitch for why you need to go into this next Junior League class, but that's next week. So with that, I want to ask Clevie, you are going to lead us in the 4-way test. So take it away, Clevie.
I am. The Rotary Plano West 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better
friendship?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Rotary. Hey, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great week and enjoy the sun. We're not supposed to get rain for a while. Bye.